Hey guys, it's Bridget with Miracle Canine, and I'm here today with Reese. We're going to do a little video about leashing dogs up. So we specifically noticed when we go to leash Reese up with a slip lead or a flat collar that he's very resistant and kind of avoids. This can happen in other areas as well if your dogs are super hyper. Oh, are you sleepy? If your dogs are super hyper and it's really hard to like wrestle the collars on. So we'll talk a little bit about how to properly leash condition your dogs so all of that can go really smoothly. So we have a normal slip lead here. Where we usually see issues is when we go to try to slip him, either in his crate, outside, and he kind of just avoids the leash and he's really uncomfortable by the whole process. So we have another slip lead on him we're going to use as we're working through this, but I just wanted to demonstrate the behavior that we're seeing. So if I start walking toward him and try to present the leash, we'll see that he's really avoidant. And he kind of wants nothing to do with the process. So we obviously don't want to allow this behavior to go on because we don't want to be chasing him down and making it a really negative experience. So we're going to work on positively conditioning this, and I'll talk about other ways that we can handle it too. So I'm going to start with his slip lead, and I'm just going to kind of step on it here and move toward him. Good. And we're going to break this down into micro moments. Good. So I have him kind of tethered so he can't go anywhere. Good. And I'm just going to keep rewarding when the leash goes near him. Good. Good boy. Good. Yes. So for whatever reason, when he came in for training, he was extremely sensitive to anything around his neck. That's why his owners had him on a harness. So any pressure on his neck, he would just absolutely kind of spaz out. So I understand where his fear is coming from because he's worried about something around his neck. But again, we're just going to try to use a little bit of classical conditioning here. Good. To get him more comfortable with the process and not associate it with something negative, but something positive. We go to put our leash on, we go for a walk, we put our leash on, we get some food, and obviously just keeping him comfortable and working through it. Good. And then I'm kind of specifically waiting to mark until the leash is a little bit over his snout. Just like we were doing with the muzzle. Yes, go ahead. Marking in the moment that the leash goes over, the scary thing is happening, and then something positive is associated with that. Good. Good boy. Yes, good. And then him just starting to feel the weight around his neck. Good boy. Undo it and do this a couple more times. Good. Good boy. Good. And I'm not saying that we don't need to correct anything in this moment. Another way we could handle it is by putting him into a command, like a bed or a sit, and getting the leash on then. But again, I kind of want to work through what the root cause of his anxiety is for this and get him to be a little bit more comfortable with the entire process rather than correcting him into submission where he feels like he has to absolutely do this. So we can kind of change the way he thinks about things. Good. Good boy. Good. 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 We're going to start tightening it around his neck so he feels the pressure. Good. Good. And again. Good. And it's normal for us to do a couple of reps of this and have some really good reps and maybe some that he's a little bit unsure, but breaking this up into multiple sessions is really essential to kind of get him over the fear of the leash. Good. Good. So now we're kind of seeing that he's putting his head inside the loop with what he's doing with the muzzle as well. Good. You're so smart. Good boy. So there, a little bit of hesitancy, and then he ultimately is like, wait, I get treats if I do this. Good. Good. I'm going to slowly take pressure off of the other leash so he's not feeling any tension to be forced to stand near me. And we're going to start working on this. Good. Kind of just naturally here. Good. 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 And another way that we can go about handling this is when he is off leash completely, is starting to teach the come command, which we haven't gotten to at this stage of his training yet. So when we get to that point, I'd have him come to me and be stable and then try to leash him there. But for now, since we're not there yet, just helping him work through this. I'm going to take a step back and then kind of mimic what I was doing previously with walking toward him with the leash. So a very common picture that we show our dogs when we're going for a walk. Good. Good. And we want to avoid a lot of excitement with leashing up too if your dog has the opposite problem where they're like can barely sit still when the leash is going on. So I don't want to pump them up and be like, do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a walk? Obviously pumps him up a little bit. I want to try not to get him in a really excited state of mind. So don't do that. So good. Try again. Good boy. So much better than the first time that we were seeing. And again, we're kind of just not, one, giving him the option to avoid the leash, and two, making sure that right now it has become a positive thing. He has improved within the last couple of minutes with this. Good. We'll even do, I'm going to exit the room real quick, come back and see if we can reset. Hi, buddy. Good. So we'll continue to divide this up into a couple of sessions until we can see a lot of proficiency with the leash coming out and him no longer avoiding it. Again, when he does get to the stage of recall, we will be utilizing recall in that way to help stabilize him in our position. So we no longer need to depend on leashing him up every single time and get him to come to us.